Today, we're diving into one of the most pivotal, intense moments in the life of Jesus Christ, his experience in the Garden of Gethsemane. We'll talk about the weight he bore for humanity, the steps he took in Gethsemane, and what it means for us today. Jesus came to earth with a mission to save us from the consequences of our own imperfections. Every person, no matter how good their intentions, is imperfect and struggles with flaws, weaknesses, and mistakes. These cause a separation from God, which humanity cannot bridge on its own, thus requiring an extraordinary sacrifice. Jesus, the only one without sin, took it upon himself to pay that price. This was the problem Jesus faced: a world separated from God by sin and death. To reconcile humanity with the divine, he had to endure unimaginable suffering, to bear the full weight of every sin, every sorrow, every struggle. The solution to this overwhelming problem of human imperfection was both Gethsemane and the cross. These two moments are inseparable. Gethsemane is where Jesus began his sacrifice, and the cross is where he completed it. Each plays a crucial role in God's plan. In Gethsemane, Jesus faced all of the suffering we go through. He had to endure. It's here that the physical, emotional, and spiritual burden of all humanity was placed upon him, and he took the first steps in his ultimate act of love. Gethsemane means oil press, a fitting name for a place where Jesus would be spiritually pressed beyond measure. Here in this quiet garden, under a sullen sky, he prayed alone, fully aware of the suffering ahead. He experienced agony so profound that, as Luke 22:44 records, his sweat was like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. During this time, Jesus uttered the words, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done." This prayer encapsulates Jesus' choice to submit to God's will and plan, even though he knew the path would be excruciating. 3 times he went back to his apostles who had fallen asleep, asking them to keep watch with him. This sequence of prayer and returning to his friends captures the loneliness and dedication of his mission. Even in the face of unimaginable anguish, he chose to stay the course, for he knew this was the only way to bridge the gap between humanity and God. In Gethsemane, Jesus followed a series of purposeful steps, each showing his commitment to his mission. 1. Seeking solitude for prayer. Jesus chose a place away from the noise and distractions, seeking closeness with his Father. This act of separating himself underscores the deeply personal nature of his sacrifice. 2. Expressing his deepest feelings. Jesus wasn't afraid to voice his struggle, showing us his humanity. He acknowledged his suffering and asked if there was another way, yet he surrendered to God's will. 3. Willingly accepting his burden. Ultimately, Jesus made the decision to accept the burden, not because it was easy, but because it was necessary for humanity's salvation. His commitment to this decision is what moved him forward. Calling on his apostles for support, though they fell asleep, he still sought their presence, showing us the value of companionship, even in moments of personal struggle. If Jesus had walked away from his mission, the consequences would have been disastrous. Humanity would have remained in a state of spiritual separation from God, unable to bridge the gap through their and our own efforts. Hope, forgiveness, and eternal life would have been inaccessible, leaving us in a state of hopelessness. With our imperfections, forever limiting our connection to God. But because Jesus chose to go forward, he offered a path back to God, a way for us to be reconciled, forgiven, and embraced by divine love. His sacrifice opened the door to eternal life, peace, and a new relationship with God that's not limited by our flaws. Through him, we can find hope, comfort, and strength. If you're inspired by the depth of Jesus' sacrifice and the powerful choice he made in Gethsemane, I encourage you to dive deeper with our Jesus in Gethsemane art book. This beautifully crafted book brings the scene to life with artwork and reflections that will help you connect with Jesus' experience in the garden on a deeper, more personal level. Go to the link in our description to learn more about our Jesus in Gethsemane book.